Good afternoon, Tiegerman parents, families, and friends, and of course, to our beloved students if you're watching, greetings. My name is Dr. Jeremy Tiegerman. I'm the director of Tiegerman Schools. Today is Friday, May 15th, 2020, and the State of the Union today is the next video in a series of videos to inform, communicate, and engage all of you. So hopefully you're enjoying these, and we will continue on with these. As I said, today is Friday, May 15th, 2020. Every week I review the previous week's video and try to do a little bit of self-evaluation and to check for things that I did well and things that I made mistakes on. And Dr. T, she viewed it too, and she mentioned to me that I made a big boo-boo. So I have to apologize. I forgot last week to mention to all of our mothers and wish them a happy Mother's Day. So I'm so sorry. I forgot to do that last week in my State of the Union. I hope all of you had a wonderful Mother's Day. You all deserve it. You are all so important to us. You do so much for us. We wouldn't be here without you. So I'm sorry again, and hopefully you all had a very well-deserved, restful day. I also, every week, have been making sure that we communicate our appreciation to all of the essential and frontline workers. We thank you for all that you're doing. You are putting your lives at risk for us. You're keeping us safe. We appreciate all that you're doing. Thank you again. I can't thank you enough. Some updates on some topics that we've discussed before. Surveys. Parents, you have received several surveys over the last several weeks. Please make sure if you get around to doing it that you send it to us as soon as possible. Your feedback is very essential to us in making determinations going forward. We want to know what your thoughts are about our remote learning and teletherapy programs. That was the first survey. We want to know how you feel about us eventually returning to physical space. So please let us know about that. And then this week, you should have received notification from your buildings regarding summer programming. You know that we all have, all of your students have 12-month IEPs. Summer sessions are important and mandatory. Our programming needs to continue on to continue to support and meet their needs and to make sure that there is no regression over the summer session. And while this summer session may look a little bit different than previous summer sessions because they may not be in the physical space, and we are still waiting to get word on whether we will return to physical space for summer session or it will be remote learning, we anticipate that summer programming will continue on. And we anticipate that the first day of summer session is going to be Monday, July 6th, 2020. So please make sure that you mark those calendars down for that day and that you reply back to the notification from your buildings on your intentions to partake in the summer session for your children. We will be there, so we hope to see all of you and your children there too. If you have any questions about that, please feel free to reach out to me or to your building principals. With regard to feedback, I say it every week, we love the good ones, and we'll take the bad ones, but we have to know. So if you have feedback, please share with us how we're doing. We strive to improve. We strive to do right by all of you and strive to get better. So continue using the social@tiegerman.org email to communicate your thoughts and feelings about how we're doing to all of us and to me. Sometimes and I want you all to know that we are receiving your feedback or your questions. And if I'm not responding to them on here, I read all of them. I get all of them. So I have contacted the parties or the individuals that need to reply to that. And you should by now have received communications from those people. If you have not, please make sure that you email me back at social@tiegerman.org about the fact that you have not received communication back from us, and I will make sure that it is taken care of. I have some good news about Memorial Day. We just got notification recently, and Dr. T confirmed that for me, that Memorial Day, Monday, May 25th, 2020, we will be closed. And that is really wonderful news to us all. You parents, students, and of course our staff. We've been working so hard. We haven't had many days, really any days off besides weekends. So we are so appreciative of this. Please take the time on this day to rest, recharge, and push through the rest of the school year, which we know, as I said last time, is looking like it is Friday, June 26th, 2020 will be our last day of school. We have yet to hear confirmation on the official end of the school year, because I know I've been hearing from some parents. I know they've been hearing from some staff. And they have been saying this to me, Dr. Jeremy, we've been hearing that public schools may be closing earlier. We know that they're not having regents. They may be shutting down earlier. Is this happening for us? Why are we different from them? Why can't we close early? So I certainly sympathize with all of your thoughts and feelings with regard to that. But I have to remind all of you that we are not a public school. We are not overseen by the Department of Education, by local school districts. We service those IEPs. We are not a parochial school. We are not a charter school. We are not an independent school. We are a K through 12, 853 state-approved non-public school, and a preschool 4410 state-approved state-approved non-public preschool program, which is a 4410, as I just said. And our oversight is by the governor's office and the state education department. So we receive our directives from them, and they will let us know about the end of the school year and the beginning of the summer session and what we're doing about the summer session. Okay, but I just want to reiterate again, it looks like last day of school will be Friday, June 26th. First day of summer session probably will be Monday, July 6th, 2020. The summer session, we expect all of you to participate. That is a 30-day summer session. And then we will soon, hopefully, hear from the state education department or from the governor's office about whether we are in remote world or physical space world for summer session. And I will let you know as soon as we hear. We anticipate hearing something by the end of May. This week was a busy week. We rolled out Google Classroom, Google Meet for our communication component of the classrooms. And we continued on with Zoom for teletherapy related services purposes. And I've heard that we've had a very successful, productive week. There have been some troubleshooting issues. We anticipated that this was going to happen. So I just want to apologize for any stress and hardship that I created or end up resulting from this transition for any of you. But we felt that this learning environment, this learning experience in the Google world was just so much more rich and a better situation for not only you, but for our students and for our staff, that we had to make the move. And I am willing to be very patient. I'm willing to be very flexible to accommodate. So as I've told you before, if work doesn't get accomplished, if there are assignments that are delayed due to issues relating to troubleshooting or to the rollout of Google Classrooms, Google Meets, I am very flexible there. Just let somebody know. We will work with you and we will accommodate. So don't get yourself too worried. But I feel that as the weeks go on, we will continue to get more comfortable with this. And I think that this will probably be our last major hurdle in the remote learning world. The next hurdle will be when we get the okay to move forward back into physical space, getting these transition plans, as I've communicated to all of you and shared with all of you, some of the language in that and some of the important points on that, getting prepared for that in the physical space and psychologically getting prepared for that, not only for us having to go there, for you sending your children and for the students to go back there. So that will be the next hurdle. We have not gotten any heads up on that at this point in time. So that's on the back burner, but we are prepared to return whenever we're directed to do so. Now that we know, as I mentioned previously, that we're definitely closed in the physical space through June 26th of this year and continue on in remote learning, the scheduling of certain activities that we had planned in our calendar is in jeopardy. And I spoke to the principals this week and shared my concerns. These are important activities. These are important performances, ceremonies that may not happen. And I said to them that we need to take a serious hard look at all of these previously planned activities, ceremonies, and see if we could accomplish them in the virtual world. And we are working on that now. So I want you to know now, the particulars have not been announced yet, and I'm going to let the building principals communicate with all of you the specifics, but we are looking very seriously at all moving up ceremonies for preschool, for UPK, moving up ceremonies for the 5th grade in Glen Cove Elementary, moving up ceremony for the 8th grade in Glen Cove Middle School, and of course, graduation ceremony for our seniors who are exiting in June. These are very, very important ceremonies, not only for you, our students, but for the families and for the staff that work so hard and invested so much into you. And we have to have a ceremony to acknowledge the great work and all of the accomplishments that you have achieved. So this is imperative that we have these things, and we are brainstorming, and we're open to your feedback. So if you have any ideas on these end-of-the-year performances or ceremonies, if you have ideas on ceremonies that I haven't mentioned, so if it was another activity that I have not considered, please contact your building principal. Ask them if it's feasible for us to do these things. If it's not feasible to do it by June, maybe we do it during the summer session. But I really want to try to hold these special events in the virtual space. If we have to be there, I want to hold these things because these will be very memorable, important events that we prefer that we were together physically, but that we could still commemorate and celebrate the accomplishments of all of our students in the virtual space. And we will do that if we have to. So please share feedback, social@tiegerman.org, if you have any ideas on that. The other thing that I wanted to mention to all of you relates to our development department. The development department is always so very interested in coming up with new ideas to engage, to bring us together, to help us get through challenging times, to communicate important information. So they did a wonderful job with the virtual 5K. You know, besides doing all these things that I just mentioned, their job is also to fundraise and fundraise for the school, which is always an important thing. There are things that state ed dollars do not go and cover that are important for the school to function effectively. But also, we need to fundraise for all of our families that are greatly in need. And that was part of what the virtual 5K was for, to put some funds together to reach out to families in need. And we're in the process of doing that. And the fundraising for the school will continue on because it's necessary. And the idea now that Jamae Crowder, the Director of Development, will reach out to all of us very shortly, whether it be through email communication or through on the website, are game nights. And I know in my local community, the schools and many of the families have started doing virtual bingo nights. It's a wonderful, fun way for people to get together, whether it be in the evening or on weekends, to see each other, socialize, have a good time, and to fundraise for very important causes. And we're thinking of doing this. So we think we're going to be doing a bingo. We think we're going to be doing maybe a trivia or Trivial Pursuit game night. So these things are in the works. And some of this will go towards families in need, and some of this will go towards helping to benefit the school. And we will let you know all about that when Jamae is ready to announce that. If you have ideas on family fun game nights in the virtual world, please forward them to the development department or to me at social@tiegerman.org. We are towards the end of my video presentation today. And I promised you last time that these videos would continue. They are important so that you remain connected to us, that you remain informed. But the information that is coming out at this point in time is not as fast and furious as it once was. You know, before you were being informed of school closures, and before you're being informed of grading policies and what we were going to do about the remote learning and the teletherapy. So these are very important things. But right now, I think we've done such a great job in implementing and communicating and rolling it out. These are not things you need updates on anymore. There will be updates on school closure dates, or ongoing school closure dates, or when we are directed to reopen and transition and how we're going to do that. So that's why we're going to continue this on a weekly basis. But I wanted to continue this on because I feel like this is a real important service to all of us. Some people look forward to seeing me every week. And, I mentioned to you last time, some people have indicated that they fall asleep to me. So that got me to thinking that maybe I need to change this up a little bit. And my thought is to turn this into a communication engagement platform where I am reaching out to all of the various sectors of the Tiegerman community and family to check in and to engage and to see how everyone's doing. We have such a wealth of unique individuals, very brave individuals, and very honorable individuals, whether it be through our families, through our staff, through our students. And I think it's important for us to connect as much as possible. So I'll be reaching out to staff, I'll be reaching out to parents, I'll be reaching out to students, and doing a video interview of sorts with them to keep everyone informed of what's going on. If you have ideas, if you want to nominate somebody who's done a miraculous thing, I want to hear it. And today, my first participant, I received a video from a parent, the Samuels family, such wonderful, lovely, devoted parents to their children as well as to the school. When we ask them to show up, they do show up and help us out. But they forwarded something to me that I thought, you know what, this is such a great idea and would be a wonderful example for the first video of the Tiegerman State of the Union. And this is something that Trey, their son, thought of on his own. Last week was staff appreciation. And I've been singing the praises because you all deserve it, of the essential workers and of the parents, right? And of the students. You have all done such a wonderful job in an unprecedented time. There really isn't a playbook for any of this. And you have stepped up and done a wonderful job and worked with us. But I've been, missing. One thing that's been missing is me stepping up and saying thank you to the staff. Our staff has done such a wonderful job in being flexible, in working with all of you, in thinking on their feet, in being wonderful problem solvers. As I said before, there was no playbook for this pandemic. There was no playbook for this remote learning and teletherapy program. We were trying to seek out directives from the state and from the governor's office, and we created it along the way. We had some help, from some of other schools or from the DOE. We got some information from them, but they really did such a wonderful job in putting this programming together and to keep all of you and your children engaged in the learning process and keep us connected during this very difficult time. So I thought, two birds with one stone, right? I want to thank the staff, and our first video is from Trey Samuels. All right, here is, if I could share my screen, the video of Trey Samuels, a 7th grade student in our middle school, and he has a very important message to share with our staff.
You're the best and I like them. They do all the stuff for me. I love when they actually do that. And I love when the teachers do that for me.
Bravo, Trey. Bravo, Trey. And hopefully you were able to see and hear, if I effectively shared my screen, what he was trying to say. But he was thanking his teachers for helping him. And I want to thank the Samuels. I want to thank Trey. And I want to thank our staff for doing an amazing job and for continuing to meet the children's needs as best as possible. Thank you. Next week, we'll be continuing on with the State of the Union, and I will be very open to hearing from parents and families and students if they're interested in coming on and joining the State of the Union and being interviewed. If I don't hear from anybody, I will definitely think on who I would like to bring on. And if you have ideas for anybody who has some very special stories or who have special talents that want to share with everyone, I'm all for it. We'll show it. But for next week, I think that we're going to be doing something pretty funny, and it's going to be involving me. And then after that, we'll open it up to everyone. But in line with the fundraising that Jamae Crowder and the Development Department are going to be doing with the bingo night and the game nights, we're also going to be doing something that's going to involve me. And the idea is that the benefits of the fundraising will go to the school as well as to families in need. So we'll work out the particulars on that. But anybody who donates to the school or to families in need will result in my head being shaved. So I'm enlisting my children next week, and every donation we get, a little bit comes off, and hopefully we get a lot of donations, and the whole thing will come off, and it'll be prime time network, entertainment. So hopefully I don't get half of my head shaved off, because that will definitely not look good. But I'm really excited to be doing this, and hopefully it will be an entertaining experience for us all. So I just wanted to thank you all in advance who will be participating in this, and I want to thank all of you who are watching today. I hope you all have a wonderful weekend, and stay safe, and I will see you next week. Take care.